I asked if he loved his wife. He said that he does, and that the truth is that he loves both of us. But he believes I am his best friend because I know him very well. Hello, it's another Friday and you're welcome to Life Stories with Bussy. I'm so sorry I wasn't here last week. Last week I was ill. I had malaria and upper respiratory infection, so I was coughing and all the works. So I couldn't just do this last week. So I'm just recuperating and I'm better. I'm just gonna go straight into this story. Today's story is a very funny one, and I had to read it 4 times, and every time I read it I was like, I don't understand. And if this person were my sister, I know the exact words to use for the person, but of course I won't use those words here. But because I kept on reading and I was just like, are you whining me? Like, for real? Really? Like, and I know that it could actually annoy you, so I'm warning you ahead. It could actually annoy you, so please be careful with your phones. Don't in anger throw your phones down, or slam your laptop, or actually throw your remote control to the TV because that was how I felt when I was going through to this story. So I'll just go straight into the story and you would understand the reason why I felt the way I felt. Okay, so the person sent a mail and she says, hello Bussy, please don't judge me. That was how she started. Please don't judge me. She said, have you ever been in love before? If you have, then maybe you would understand this. She goes, I'm still in love with my ex, though we're both married to different people. I'll just put my ex name as Larry for the purpose of this story. So she says this is how it happened. We dated for 6 years from when I was 22. And we have a child together. I practically lived with him for 3 years because he had an apartment in one of his mom's building. I was working in a restaurant near his office and he took a liking to me. We started talking and it was so easy to fall in love with him. When we were living together, we used to fight a lot. Little things irritate him and it would always end up in arguments. He talked to other girls, but I believe I was his main woman because I was living with him. Apart from that, his mom didn't really like me. She used to look down on me, and she had asked him many times if I didn't have parents because she wondered why I was living with him. My parents were in the village anyway. His mom was quite a wealthy woman and she was doing well for herself. When I had my baby, I thought he would propose and make me his wife, but that didn't happen. I challenged him and he said he wasn't ready to settle down. My friends believed that he was wasting my time and encouraged me to leave him. It was really hard for me to do, but I left him. I thought that would make him change his mind and come get me and my son back, but he didn't. When I called him for my son's upkeep, he said I should send my account details, but he didn't say more than that. I met an older guy, my current husband. My current husband is a widower and he's 10 years older than me. I know my husband loves me so much. He accepted me with my son. My husband does so much for me and I'm not lacking in any way. She said, but I don't really feel that love towards him. I don't know whether you understand. I don't feel any butterflies in my stomach or have any giz feeling for him like I did for Larry. Now, it took me a while to understand that this word was giz. She spelled it G-I-S. So I had to look well because I was like, what was giz? So it was later I got to realize that it was giz, the feeling of the excitement that you feel when you see somebody that you're in love with, in quote. That's what she meant by giz. So she goes, so I don't have any giz feelings for him like I did for Larry. Now, I hadn't been gone from Larry's life for 6 months when I heard he proposed to another lady. I felt like I was stabbed when I heard, and in less than 3 months after, they were married. It really hurt me to my bone marrow when I heard that he got married within 1 year of our separation. The lady comes from the kind of family Larry's mother would love. You know, that rich Ajabota kind of family. I even heard that the lady's father and Larry's mother are business partners, so I believe it was forced. The problem started about 4 months ago. Larry called and said he wanted to see his son. He mentioned that his wife had traveled to have their baby. I was curious to see how he was living in his new house, and I went with my son. One thing led to another, and we ended up sleeping together. I didn't feel bad about it. It just felt natural. Larry was my first, and we bonded really well. Later, he started crying that he shouldn't have allowed me to go. He said that his mother didn't like me and there was so much pressure from her. I asked if he loved his wife. He said that he does, and that the truth is that he loves both of us. But he believes I am his best friend because I know him very well. That statement really broke me, and all the love I had for him, which I had rolled back, came rushing back. Oh, please. So I asked him what would happen. He said we should see how things go. His wife wasn't around for 4 months, and I was shuttling between my house and his. One day I told him that I was ready to leave my husband, he was ready to leave his wife. He said again that he loves both of us and that he's confused at what to do. Every time I tell him I'm done with him, he will break down and cry. Hey, yeah, poor Larry. Oh, see love. 2 weeks ago, his wife came back with their baby. Gang, gang. He has not been picking my calls since then. Every time I call him, he would say he was busy getting ready for the baby's dedication party or something. Sometimes he doesn't even respond. I don't know what to do. I really love Larry. I believe he loves me just for this situation he has found himself in. I believe that he's doing this for his mother. I don't know what to do. Do I tell my husband so I can hand things with him and see if things can work between me and Larry? I really love him. Like, he gets me and understands me. I read this story, I was like, hey. First thing first, I think you should tell your husband so that you can set the poor man free. You understand? You can set him free from housing you and your child, for taking care of you and your child. I think you should just tell him so that the man can know his fate, and so that the man can just know that he doesn't have a wife. Yes, I think that you should tell your husband. I don't understand what else you do not get here. First of all, you were with this guy for 6 years. You stayed with him for 3. You had a child for him. He did not marry you. He didn't marry you. In less than a year, he got somebody else and he married the person. And then when this person wasn't around, he called you. And then you showed up and then you started playing wife. And as far as you're concerned, because he keeps crying, he keeps crying. You know, he has turned to baby now. He keeps crying. I don't get it. Don't you get it? Wake up and smell the coffee. This guy doesn't love you. You're the one doing all the loving. This guy doesn't love you. He doesn't want to be with you. And it has nothing to do with his mother. When he really loves you, he would have stood up for you against his mother, which he did not do. So it's simple. He's using you, he's manipulating you, and you are allowing that to happen. That's my anger. And you are married. So why don't you just and you are married? That is, that for me is annoying on its own. You are married and then you go to your ex and you start, what is that? Okay, now the family is back, it's not responding to you, and you still feel that there's something to fight for. It's only me that I'm feeling very I don't know. I don't want to use the word, because when I don't want to use the word I want to use. Am I the only one feeling like that? I don't know, but guys, what do you think? Is it that your village people are after you and you don't realize that your village people are after you? How can you? What kind of love is that? This guy does not love you, and I don't understand why you don't get that. He's using you. So when his wife was not around, he called you and then you showed up. And you know, this idea of he loves the both of you, my dear, he's telling you what you want to hear. He doesn't love the both of you. Men say they can love 2 women at a time. I don't know how true this is. Men, is there a thing? Can you love 2 women at a time? But you know, for me, in this case, I don't even think that this guy loves you. This guy is using you. So he calls you from your home, because if somebody loves you, the person wouldn't want to destroy what makes you happy, or the person won't want to destroy what you have built. So he calls you and then you went to his house, and then you are shuttling between his house and your husband's house, and you're cool. Please, I don't want to say too much. Guys, let's meet at the comment section. I still do not understand it, but this isn't love, you know. And you are talking about giz love, my dear. Love isn't a feeling, or it starts from a feeling and then it evolves over time, and it becomes a choice that you make. It becomes responsibility. It becomes, you know, it becomes more matured. The giz feeling doesn't, because you have come to know who you are in love with. You have come to know yourself. Come to yourself now, and you know that the person that you have isn't perfect after all, because nobody is perfect, and the person isn't perfect after all, and you have known that. So you begin to adjust yourself and things like that. So the giz feeling isn't there all the time, you know. So I don't understand why you want to keep on being in that state, the state of giz. My dear sister, please wake up and smell the coffee. This guy doesn't love you, and I don't even know how you want to repair what you have done so far. I don't know whether you're going to go and tell your husband what you've done so far, but sincerely, I do not know what to tell you again. So maybe our viewers would have something to tell this lady, but if there's one thing I want to tell you, please run away from Lanre. Lanre is not good news. It isn't. I'll be at the comment section. Till next time, when I come your way again, my name remains Bussy.